This is about work, and so this was on Reddit. People who do certain jobs, and the thing that they dislike most about their job in working with the public, like for Chris Demm, lifeguard, you used to be a lifeguard.
I was.
What they want to say, if they basically said, if you could say to all your customers, all the swimmers, all the parents, what would you say to them? And they said, I'm not a babysitter. It's not my job to babysit your kid while you're here. You can't just drop them. And
it kind of is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it really kind of is when you get down to it. Even that at the time I realized.
They say, this is one lifeguard. It's your job as a parent to watch your kid when swimming, and then if they have an emergency, I'll be there to take care of them. But don't take your eye off of them.
Obviously, things have changed. You know, I've not lifeguarded since the 80s, but when I started in 1981, summer of 81. Yeah, I mean, parents would just drop their kids.
They still do.
Yeah, they'd leave them at 9 o'clock in the morning and pick them up at 6 o'clock at night.
They still do. That's when we go to the pool. I see that all the time. That kids are there.
I mean, young kids, youngish,
8, 9, and they'll be there. Which I always thought that was kind of okay. You know, it's not that bad, and there is a lifeguard there for when they're in the pool. You know. But they say, don't use me as a babysitter. Which
I'd say don't run.
I think people do. Yeah, don't. That's what he would say to everyone.
Because it's amazing how many kids slip and fall on wet pool decks.
God, that's the worst. I mean, I see that all the time.
I almost feel like it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
And it's...
but it's so tempting. I mean, kids they're having fun in the pool.
Yeah.
They want to run around and jump. I get it.
And they want to get to wherever they're going fast. But a stub toe and a skint knee is no way to spend your afternoon at the pool.
You should put that on your folksy delivery. Back in my day, a stub toe or a skint knee.
It's the worst.
It's Garrison Keeler.
Terrible. Try. That's what I'm going. That's what I was going for there. Biggie, you'll have to edit together for me, and then
what's that?
Yeah, I will. Biggie edit it all together.
Is he going to get a piece of the action?
When the action comes in.
No, he won't. Come on.
When the action really...
He won't tell me when the action comes in.
To heat up, yeah. Zoo workers would say to the public, all right, these are workers at a zoo, this is an animal exhibit. Sometimes they sleep. It takes longer than 5 seconds to get a reaction out of animals because people are disappointed when they can't see the animal.
Yeah, of course.
It says we can't do anything. You know, if you're going to stare at it for 10 seconds and they're asleep, what do you want us to do? I guess there's complaints at zoos about that, I suppose.
The polar bears are asleep.
Yeah.
Well, it is deflating when you get to your favorite animal and you can't either see it.
Yep.
Because they're like, oh, well, they're in their den.
Yeah.
You know, and you're standing there, they're sleeping towards the back of the exhibit, and you're just like, I
know.
Can't see anything.
Is there anything zoos can do to poke them up front? Make them
no, because that's not what zoos are supposed to do.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to, but I would bet in the old days they'd jab them on Saturday afternoons. Get out there.
In the old days, not now.
You know, the cement cage days.
Yeah.
the bars on the bars on the cage days.
Yeah. Now you cannot.
Now it's a habitat.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
Poke them out there.
Gates are open. Zap the gorillas.
This is what people in certain jobs want to tell the other people they work with or serve, like the public. IT workers, for here it would be our engineer Drew, want to say, before you call me, turn it off and turn it back on again.
It's always his first.
Yeah. I think I'm to the point where I even try that now before I reach out to engineering.
Well, I'll tell you, it works 95% of the time.
It's so sad.
It is. I always call him. I'm like, Drew, what? My computer.
You don't even use the internet. You just holler.
No.
You don't email or
Drew,
intercom.
Drew. And
did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Oh, no. So then he does that, and then 2 minutes later, it's...
Just hit here. See where it says restart.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, but it didn't. Well, it didn't do that before.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the thing about computers is even just turning them off is a chore.
It's a process.
You know, you have to go through and do it just right, and it's like restart and shut down and all that.
You want to install updates? I didn't know there were updates.
That's another thing.
I don't touch updates.
Yeah.
I don't either. Just today, I was on a site that I use that's a password-protected site, and it said, ooh, this password may have been compromised. Do you want to change it? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure, if I should change it or not, to go through with Drew to see if we should change it or not. I don't know these things. Dentists, what they would like to say to the people they serve, and it's one word, floss.
Floss,
of course. That's floss. Yeah. You must floss.
Only the teeth you want to keep. That's the dentist joke.
I really need to do that. I haven't.
You're 50.
You're right.
It's not going to happen.
I'm going to make it a point.
Yeah, it happens for me when I have something stuck in my teeth and I have to grab some floss, and then I go, "Oh, well, why I'm here?"
Do you at least use floss speak, or do you just kind of fold up a business card?
Those are handy.
No, I have
that comes in well.
I've gotten into the little floss sticks. I like those.
I have noticed, sometimes when you walk through a parking lot, or sometimes if you walk through like a public park, or just anywhere, like on the streets, there's kind of what do they call them? Venn diagrams. People who use their little flossers and people who are litter bugs. Yeah. And there's a large crossover.
Yeah.
Because people will clean their teeth and then fling it right out the window.
Absolutely.
With the individual use. And then just toss it right onto the road.
I find those to be too flimsy for my teeth. They don't get.
I never tried it.
Oh, really? I like them.
I much prefer the regular.
I like standard.
I do too. If I'm going to do it.
I think if you have crowded teeth,
I do.
It's harder to use those little sticks to get in there.
Yeah, they bend and break. That's my problem with them. Is because I have crowded teeth. I've always had crowded teeth. I had 8 pulled when I got my braces.
Well, I do.
That can't even be possible.
They pulled 8.
Still have teeth.
They had 8 permanent teeth pulled when I had my braces on, and they said we're going to have to because your mouth is so crowded.
How many do you have now?
Like this.
I think I had extra teeth. I don't know how many I have now, but I think I had extra teeth when I was born. I think they came in. Maybe
when women have them in their vaginas.
Yes. I think it's possible. You know how women will have occasionally.
Vagina dentata.
Once in a while.
He's got vagina dentata. Did you say he? Yes. And you'll never believe where.
That's right.
What did Biggie call you? The
Megalodon.
Megalodon. Yes, I remember that. What would emergency room workers like to say to the people they serve? Here it is.
Get in line.
Exactly. If they say it's not first come, first serve.
You are not going to get. You're not going to the front of the line.
No, and it's like if your injury or your symptoms are minor, we're moving the others to the front of the line ahead of you. And
it's brutal.
People really complain about that. Like I was here first. This doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. What do they call it? Triage.
Yeah. It says here we triage you for a reason. That's what that's exactly the line they use, which is true. Now, I haven't been in the emergency room in forever.
If you can time it well, that's really your only hope.
When I was there one time, early 20s. Is when I had a cyst on my tailbone, and I had to get that taken care of. Yep. But I remember being in the lobby with one guy who only moaned when the nurses came out, and I thought that was, even in pain, thought that was so funny. Like when it was just normal of us sitting around, he'd be quiet, but as soon as like somebody opened the door, a nurse came to call somebody, he'd lean back and be like, ugh.
Oh, Lord. Did it work? Did it move him up?
No. Oh, Lord.
And the door closed, and you just go back to normal.
With all the babies with the fevers. And
pretty smart on his part, I suppose.
But what you don't want to do is go in there. We've said this many times. Friday night, Saturday night.
The worst.
That's when all the drunks come in, the car accidents.
Absolute worst. Yeah, you're going to be waiting forever.
You're going to wait.
If you go with a sick kid on a Friday night, Saturday night, you're in deep trouble there. Another airport worker. This is what they want to tell people that they work with or who they serve.
There's nothing we can do.
That's it. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah. That's got to be the main one.
My bag is gone. There's nothing we can do. I'm going to miss my connection.
There's nothing we can do. And they also say a lot of people...
You're charging me extra for this bag.
You're right.